Ebroin may also refer to Ebroin, a 9th-century bishop. Ebroin was the Frankish mayor of the Palace of Neustria on 2 occasions, firstly from 658 to his deposition in 673 and secondly from 675 to his death in 680 or 681. In a violent and despotic career, he strove to impose the authority of Neustria, which was under his control, over Burgundy and Austrasia. Following the failed coup of the Pippinid mayor Grimoald the Elder in Austrasia, the Merovingian court resided in Neustria. According to the Liber Historiae Francorum, during the reign of Clothar III, the mayor Grimoald of Neustria died. A council of Franks then elected Ebroin as his replacement. The life of St. Eligius records that as of the middle 670s Ebroin had only one child, a son named Bobo. Bobo was then convalescing from an illness contracted during his adolescence. Based on that, Bobo was likely born c. 660. The Venerable Bede took notice of an anecdote concerning Ebroin in 668. Bede tells that Ebroin waylaid an Englishman returning from Rome, for fear that the Byzantine emperor was plotting an alliance against his rule. It follows that Ebroin by 668 had arrogated to himself the de facto rule of Neustria and so of the Franks. It also follows that Ebroin had a streak of paranoia. It remains unclear how direct was Ebroin's influence over the next 4 years, but when Clothar died in 673, Ebroin was back in charge. Another brother, Thedric III, was raised as king of Neustria, still viewed as the core kingdom of the Franks. Ebroin endeavored to maintain at any rate the union of Neustria and Burgundy, but the great Burgundian nobles too wished to remain independent. They rose under Bishop Leodegar of Autun, and defeated Ebroin and Thedric. They decided to tonsured Ebroin, interning him in the monastery of Lacoy. A proclamation was then issued to the effect that each kingdom should keep its own laws and customs, that there should be no further interchange of functionaries between the kingdoms, and that no one should again set up a tyranny like that of Ebroin. Soon, however, Leodegar too was defeated by Wulfold and the Austrasians, and was himself confined at Lacoy in 673. When Childeric II was murdered at Bondi that year by a disaffected Frank, Theodoric III was reinstalled as king in Neustria with Ludasius as his mayor. Ebroin and Leodegar took advantage of the confusion to leave the cloister, and soon found themselves once more face to face. Each looked for support to a different Merovingian king, Ebroin even proclaiming a false Merovingian impostor as sovereign. In a short time Ebroin caused Ludasius to be murdered and became mayor once again, now with a score to settle with Leodegar. About 675 Ebroin reimposed his authority over Neustria and most of Burgundy, and induced the Duke of Champagne and the bishops of Chalons and Valence to attack Autun. They invested the city, and forced it to surrender. Ebroin had Leodegar's eyes put out. Ebroin persuaded the king that Childric's murder had occurred under Leodegar's instigation, and so the king had Leodegar additionally arrested, tried, and exiled. On the 12th of October 678 Ebroin had his enemy led away and murdered. Ebroin meanwhile had defeated the Austrasians at Bois du Fay, near Laon, uniting France under Neustrian rule. His triumph, however, was short-lived. He was assassinated in 681, the victim of a combined attack of his numerous enemies. In 684, Anselm, Bishop of Poitiers in Neustria, the homeland of Ludasius, commissioned a life of Leodegar the Burgundian. It cast Ebroin as an enemy of God motivated by nothing but ambition and a lust for power. This biography became canonized in the Church to such an extent that Leo de Goa, too, was canonized as St. Leger. Tales of Ebroin's infamy were also found useful by the Austrasians, whose own ambitious Merle family commissioned the continuations to the Chronicle of Fredegar.